Localization is what we're going to talk about today. Localization, what does it mean? Basically, it means different languages. You want to support different languages in your application, the text, labels, pop-ups. Now, there are different techniques for it, and we got to make some sense out of that. One way is, now before I talk about it, let me say that in iPhone or iPad, a user would change their language by going into System Settings, Languages, and select their preferred language. N- um, So there are different ways of doing that. One technique is to see all these nib files that we had. Like here's one, and all the labels are in there. For each language, you would make one nib file. Now that would be repetitive. Of course, you'll have to put buttons and labels and everything you have multiple times for each of the language you are using. And when the user changes their language in the system settings, it'll automatically pick up the right nib file. There's a naming convention your nib files have to follow, and that's how the system will pick up the right one. Now, what about labels and stuff? When you pop up a dialog box and it say, successfully saved, no, please fix first name, or missing first name. Those labels are kept in files, one for each language. So each language would have a different file, and there's a naming convention for that. And it'll pick up the right one depending on what the system language is in the language of the iPhone is in the system settings. So it'll talk to the iPhone and say, hey, what's my language? And then pick up the right file depending on a naming convention. So you need a naming convention, you need multiple nib files, and you need a multiple resource file to type in those labels in there. You would of course have to send them to a translator. You would probably make one in your own language and send it out for translation. And be careful about translation also, translating verbatim using some kind of a mechanical translator may not do the job, so it'll have to be somebody who knows the language. Now once we have that, then we move forward and look at how we can do that. The iPhone simulator has a way to pick different languages, so we'll be able to simulate it in the iPhone simulator. In the same application from the previous tutorial, I'm going to add another text box, a button, and then we'll start working and look at how we can localize the currency symbol to begin with. So I'm going to drag, of course I have this over here, I need that utility area, so I'll click here, and I'm going to drag out, I'm going to move this a little bit to the left side and drag out a button. Change its text. Now you can hear a lot of silence because I'm going to keep repeating what I already. You probably are tired of hearing me say the same things over and over again in the previous tutorial. You probably know what I'm doing. So what do I need at this point? A pop quiz. To access the text box, I need an IB outlet. And what do I need for a button? An IB action. Okay, so let's go. And this is view.xib. I need view2.h file to create an IB action and IB outlet. And I go here to this one. Currency. So that'll give me an IB outlet for currency. So why don't I move this a little bit to the left side and put a label here, a little label up here. and change it to, I double clicked it. Now I need a button and a touch up inside. So what's the step number 2? I have to open up View to M file, and I should see show currency on click. Okay, that much automatically has been done for me. Now do I have IB action, IB outlet, currency. Did it synthesize it for me? As you know, it's not going to synthesize that. So I gotta synthesize. Oh, messed up here. Currency. So now I should be able to access that currency. And I wanna show it in a, let's do something else. I'm gonna go back to this zip file, create another label there, and I'm gonna show whatever I type here. When I click on the button, I'm gonna show it as a currency, localized currency in another label. So I need another label right there. There you go. I'm gonna type the currency here. Let's run it a little and see what it does. I don't prepare for these videos, I'm doing it on the fly. So here it is, go to view 2, I'm gonna type something here and show currency. I wanna show it right there. So let's do that part now. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna type, what's the name of that box? Well, I need to develop a IP outlet for that. Did I do that? No. So for this label, I need to create a new referencing outlet to access it. I'm going to call this localized currency. Now what do I gotta do? I gotta synthesize that, right? It's becoming robotic now. Localized currency. Now I should be able to access it. Localized currency. Set text or set value. No, there's no set text, there's a set value. Something has gone wrong here, so let's look at it again. What did I do here? Did I mess up? Maybe I did the wrong one. So I need to delete. Maybe I did the wrong one right there. So I need to delete it. Will it delete it from here as well? I don't know. So I gotta go back in there and redo this. I need the new referencing outlet, not the outlet collection. Add property IB outlet UI label localized currency. Now let's try it. localized currency. Now is there a set text? Yes, there is. And that would be, you see how I try to balance the brackets? That would be currency text. Let's see if that'll work. You know, I should have done all these changes into view 1. Well, now I have to go to view 2 and type it in. There you go. See, now we got that part working. Now we want to change it to the topic of the day, to display 1 or 12 as a localized currency. Maybe show a dollar sign next to it. Type it right in front of your eyes so you can see. I'm gonna get rid of this utility area to make it a little bit bigger. Well, first of all, I need the currency symbol, so I'm going to get it out like this. I am going to declare an NS string, and I'm going to call it currency symbol. Now, on the other side, what do I need? I need to do this. NS locale nope, not right. NS locale. It's not going right. Now this was a little bit tricky typing that in. I wanted NS locale and I wasn't getting it for some reason. NS locale, now it is showing up. So let's try again. Left bracket NS okay, you see it's not showing up there. Okay, it's way up there, so I gotta scroll up a little bit. It was giving me some problem, but you see real life programming. And on it messed up again. I need a capital. I need the name of the class. Current locale. You see how I had a little bit difficulty there. NS locale, and it's still complaining that what is it complaining about? It's saying that replace NS locale by NSL. Okay, capital L. Maybe that's what I was doing wrong. Let's try again. I'm going to delete all of that. Type it NSL. Yeah, now we got it. So this was a little bit tricky. I'm going to type now. On this current locale, I want to do another action, or call it, send it another message, or call a method on it, and that is object for key. Which key? Now that's in enumeration. NS locale currency symbol. That's it. All that. I want to, move this a little bit to this side. I'm going to close it. So I can see it all on one line. So that's what I did. I got the current currency symbol, and what is it complaining about? Saying unused local variable. Okay, so now next we're going to use it. Now we want to set right here, instead of just getting it outright, we want to do something else. And what is that? We want to actually, let's do it a little bit in different steps. I want to make another string first before I display it. If I type everything in there, it'll be too complicated to understand what's going on. Localized. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff and type it and come back in a second. Do it right there. And that would be ns string with format @, percent, and within it percent at percent d currency symbol. And I'm going to display that. In here and see what it does for me. Build failed, more percent than data arguments. Okay, so I need another one right there. You see we have percent at percent d. So that would be, what would that be? That would be my the number that I typed in the text box, 1 or 2. So the currency symbol is going to be localized and the number that I type in. So percent at will be the currency symbol, dollar sign, percent d would be 1 or 2. So let's see how that works. I need the currency, that one, text, and that's the text. I want to convert it to a number. It's probably complaining about okay, real life programming. It is giving me some error and I can't read it. So where am I going to go? I'm going to go to the issues navigator. And it is, I clicked, and now I get the whole thing. Down there, format specifies int, but the argument has type ns string. So we got to convert that to an integer first of all. So we need another int. Okay, so this is what I had to do. I'm going to convert it to currency text within brackets and then enclose that in brackets and call int value on that, and that should convert it to ns string to an integer. Now I can type, replace this with that. So step by step I have converted things in there, and still we have a problem. Okay, so what I had was a extra left bracket there, and that was causing me a problem. You see, these little things are gonna give you a lot of headaches, so you gotta get used to it. Yeah, there are some things going on over here. There are warnings, not errors. So now type that 1 here. You see now it comes out with a $1. So it looked at the current locale setting of this iPhone simulator and saw it was US and put in a dollar there. Now if I change my locale in application, it should show some other country that I am in. So if I put a little bit of space down there in between those two, I should see a dollar space. So far you see what's going on. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to change the setting to another language and see if it changes. In the location, I think it's done this way. Let's try it. I come in here, click this button, and try to find. I'm just holding my, clicking the left mouse button, going to settings. In order to scroll up, of course, there is no touch in the iPhone simulator, so I'm clicking with the mouse and dragging it up and down, looking for international language, and select. I think the Franca is done. Okay, so this is what I had to do. Let me show you the result, and then I'll show you what I had to do to show up. I'm going to type 1 this time, and you see I chose French, but not in the language. I'll show you where I did. So just by changing, this is what I did. I went here, settings, and I was in general, international, region. See, I chose the language as English, so that's one thing. But the region format is another thing. So the currency symbols and stuff depends on region format, and language depends. That's another setting, and we'll talk about it next. So the region format, I had to drill down. I had to select France, and within France, further, they have several territories. Which one I want? So that's what I had to check to show up a specific currency symbol.